And go. All right, folks, welcome back. It's another week. It was a bit tragic for Saints fans out there. Drew Brees retiring and all. But
Very,
more
very tragic.
importantly, the NCAA tournament, which we all thought was going to be a wash, kind of made up for it. Congratulations to Oral Roberts, Abilene Christian, and as of today, Loyola Chicago, who upset number one Illinois.
Who would have thought? Who
Dude,
would have thought?
oh my God. Well, the first round was, topsy turvy, but then Oral Roberts won, and then it was everything just hit the fan. It was like, oh my God.
North Texas won.
Yeah, North
Fucking
Texas.
Ohio won. University.
Yeah, they're Michigan's playing LSU. I think tomorrow. I think they're done for like the weekend. I think, but then they're playing tomorrow. I could be wrong on that.
Right.
Or no, because if that's the case, because Loyola Chicago played today, so they're probably gonna have some more games. I think there were what? I think one day they had 16 games like a day. It's like
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but one game got not postponed, but one team advanced. I can't remember. It was against VCU, and VCU was a team that didn't make it through because
the you're talking about the one where they had the COVID
yeah.
virus.
Yeah.
That is such bullshit. I'm sorry.
Right?
No, that really is. Oh, so they all got sick. So guess what? We're just gonna advance the other team. Dude, you know how pissed I would be at the kid who actually got COVID.
I'll be fucking furious.
Bro, I swear to God, I would be so outraged. But damn, no. So that's a bummer for VCU. But no, man, I'm actually low key excited to see where Loyola Chicago goes, because those dudes are fire. I don't know if any of the folks out there been keeping up, but dude, Loyola Chicago done messed over Georgia Tech, who they were lower seed then, and they just beat Illinois.
Number 1 seed Illinois.
So any of you out there that had your perfect bracket just ruined out there, I don't feel sorry for you, because it's March Madness.
It happens every year.
Dude. I will say the best year was when Virginia lost in the first round.
Oh yeah, that was
when
crazy.
They were number 1 seed, they lost to a 16, and everyone was just like, oh my God.
You know how many people literally cried that day? We're just absolutely upset.
Not me, because Virginia wasn't going to win my championship.
Oh yeah, I didn't think Virginia was going to win that year, but I was surprised it won the following year.
I think they said this is the first year that Duke, Kentucky, and then I think North Carolina aren't in the Sweet 16 since the late 70s. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's insane. It's been a long time.
Tell me everybody else has a chance now. Ooh.
I think also too, it might be the end for the coaches there too. Honestly, like a hot seat for those 3 coaches. Even Calipari, even though he brings in good talent, I feel like Kentucky was nah, we're used to winning national championships. We kind of want to win national championships again.
Dude, well, I mean, has he? No. Yeah, he won.
He won one. He won one with Anthony Davis.
With Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis and that squad.
Which I will say, Anthony Davis, one hell of a performance in the final.
I mean, I think the best performance that I've seen in recent memory was Trey Burke when he was at Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Granted, they lost it, but and where's Trey Burke now? Scrub.
Scrub.
Can we Scrub. And I hate to switch gears, obviously, but with the NCAA, going on, have you been keeping up with the whole thing? Did you see the post that somebody made about the women's basketball?
Yeah. I saw that, and I was like,
shameful?
That's kind of, I don't know, man. I saw that, and I was like, I didn't believe it at first. I thought it was fake or something. I'm like, this must be
that is so messed up.
I know. Even the free stuff you get just for making the tournament and stuff. It's was significantly less than what what the girls got in front of men's.
I'm like NCAA ought to be ashamed of themselves. And then they're gonna start the argument with how, not everyone watches, the women's game. I was like, well, UConn doesn't win every goddamn year, so now
True.
Damn.
Yeah, everyone gives a damn. And honestly, I don't know if UConn will win this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but
Look,
I
dude,
don't know if they
look,
will.
look, dude. Gino's got what? He's got what, 8 with UConn. I mean, because they a couple years ago they were on like a streak to like win. What was it?
It was like something crazy in a row,
400
huh?
games in a
Like,
row or something, like something crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely the greatest female team ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like today, let's see, the women's team, they're playing High Point in the tournament, and they're in their first round. Shout out to the Carolinas.
Are you cheering for South Carolina?
No. You know what, dude? Where I'm at now, there's such a thing between Clemson and Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and it just irritates me to my very core. Because on the one hand, as an SEC guy, I never pull for South Carolina. But on the other hand, I pull for them every year to beat Clemson because I can't stand Clemson. No, I like you think, dude, I swear, you think LSU fans are pitiful. At least LSU fans like have a reason to be hopeful. Because the only thing standing between them and a national title every damn year was Nick Saban. At Clemson, they think that they're owed. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you don't win a championship since '81. You win one with Deshaun Watson, which we're going to get into later in the show, because Deshaun's contract ain't the biggest thing anymore.
No.
And then all of a sudden they're just like, oh yeah, we're relevant. We're relevant. We deserve to win every year. I'm like, bro, because I was at a friend's place the other night and we were watching Clemson play in the NCAA tournament, and I was like, dude, their football team is obviously the superior thing. Don't be surprised if Clemson ain't gonna get that far in the tournament. And sure enough. But dude, this Oral Roberts game, good Lord. Like Ohio, like to all the Ohio State fans out there, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for pulling for that team. You just ought to be. Because they could have played this team another 10 times and probably lost 9.
Yeah.
Or probably won 9, excuse me, not lost. I can't speak today. Probably won 9 of those games. But really? Or Roberts, who, in my opinion, didn't really have a shot in hell to win this game, done screwed this bracket up.
Oh,
From a 95% like success, to all of a sudden, I think it's less than like 0.00003% of brackets are still fine, and that number is going to change obviously because now Illinois is out.
Yeah.
So rest in peace to your brackets if you created one. If not, then you're safe. If Las Vegas is out there, tuning in as well, sorry guys, you can't win them all. But I mean, you'll recoup your money when Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl, anyways. So.
Right. Don't say that. Don't say that in existence. Please don't. I'm tired of that.
But the whole NCAA women's thing, was that not like troubling?
I think it was very, very disturbing, to be honest with you. I thought it was very the year is 2021, and women players, especially in the game of basketball, have really shown that like they can make it entertaining, whether you believe it or not. Especially at the collegiate level, because at the collegiate level, these girls are trying harder than you possibly believe in the professionals, in my opinion, because they're trying to make it to the professionals.
Yeah.
Even then, they won't make as much as the men's. Now, guaranteed it is true that they do not get much viewership or much money or revenue as the men's, but I will say the men's has been around very much longer than the women's, has gained more popularity just because of that. So, in all fairness, I just really think that it was kind of disrespectful and slap in the face, like to women's rights and to women's like basketball.
I agree with the women's rights, and I agree with that whole scenario, I guess, where you took it. And I always hate the excuse of, well, people don't watch the games.
Yeah.
Because then what this does is this even takes it back to when the United States women's soccer team won the World Cup. They make
Yep.
more money than the men's team.
Yeah.
Significant. Now, in defensive, other things, they signed this contract. So there's not really a like room to complain, but they have a chance to re-sign the contract and get more money. I think that's awesome. But
Right.
but it's kind of that same like principle is the NCAA time and time again has shown that they don't really give a damn about their athletes. I mean, with the Les Miles situation,
True.
which partially reflects on the school as well. I say partially, probably mostly reflects on the school. But, the NCAA has shown negligence on so many levels. And I think this is just another dumb mistake by some intern, because I don't feel like the NCAA necessarily carries this level of ignorance. I think it's just that, because every company makes mistakes, but
Yeah.
But to make it at such a gender level, and not only that, to get a shout out, not on like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, Snapchat. No, they went straight to TikTok.
And that blew up, and that shows you the power of TikTok and social media nowadays.
And as someone who refuses to use TikTok because Vine is king.
Oh my God, I use TikTok. It's not as cool as Vine, but it's pretty cool.
I mean, Vine, like our generation, Vine is like probably the greatest social media thing to ever come out of it, because there's nothing like watching the little kid like, get chewed out, and he just goes, "Oh man, you almost made me drop my croissant." So there's that. There's like that one. But dude, oh my God, Vine is just, but to get serious though, like the fact that you like social media just is like this outlet for just shouting out these problems. The NCAA should thoroughly be ashamed of itself, first of all.
Oh yes.
But second of all, and this is my, complaint as someone who competed, at not a collegiate level, obviously, but but at a pretty decent level in athletics. Why in the hell would you be training during the tournament? I think I mean if there's any questions that I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm not going to go deadlift and then go do a shoot around. That ain't me. My leg's gonna be sore, man.
You have a game literally like in 2 days or like the next day.
Oh yeah. And so that was really the bigger question, I think. Obviously not trying to take away from the women's basketball programs that are in the Lucky 64. But yeah, no, that was very troubling, and it's probably the darkest thing that's happened this week. Even I would say even worse than like Drew Brees retiring, because I mean that was a gut check.
Yeah,
Saints fans, but like this is troubling on so many levels, and in the age, I would think the reincarnated age, I think, is a better term, of social justice, activism, and things like that, to just slap somebody in the face like that, I think is just absolutely disrespectful.
And I'll say another thing too. I don't know if you watched the new thing on Netflix. It's about the college admission scandal.
Yeah.
A lot of that was related to sports in a way, and like I'm surprised the NCAA, really the University of Stanford, and I have a bone to pick with Stanford again about this. Like I don't know if you know, but like March, in wrestling the world we call the March of Madness. The NCAA wrestling champions were like recently, and I don't know if you know, Iowa won the 24th national title.
Oh, of course.
So congrats to the Iowa Hawkeyes, y'all's fan base. Y'all won something. Congratulations. But of course, in wrestling though, not football. So, but anyway, the main story of the whole weekend was there is this wrestler who won a national title for Stanford, and this program that got like discontinued. And I relate this back to like the whole the whole thing with the college admission scandal was like it had something to do with the sailing team and like the coach and stuff.
Yeah, rowing. Yeah.
So like I'm like Stanford. I'm like, you are literally like an Ivy League school. You tell me you don't have enough money to go around and spend on like these programs I need, at least in wrestling, because from my knowledge, at least keeping up the past couple of years, they've had a good number of wrestlers that make the finals and become All-Americans and place high in the tournament and stuff. So it's really disappointing NCAA to haven't stepped in and do something about like at least trying to keep the program alive. Something.
Shout out to Aunt Becky though. Shout out to Aunt Becky.
Shout out to
may her career rest in peace after that. Fabulous documentary. I forget what it was, what it's called. I'm gonna look it up now, actually, as a matter of fact. But yeah, no, solid, definitely a solid documentary for anyone that cares about, education or anything like that. But no, I agree. I think to the to like the certain like extent of like what's happening. I think I agree. I think it's the same. It's that same principle. It's called Operation Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a documentary if anybody's interested. Because you learn so much about the inner workings of athletics, and there's so many documentaries that talk about the corrupt behavior of the NCAA, and I think it's when I have this conversation with people, and I related it just to personal experience. Obviously, I did not cheat my way to get into school. Let me affirm that. But when we looked at the bounty scandal with New Orleans Saints some years ago,
Right.
I think it's universally known, but it's like an unwritten rule that everyone, I would assume everyone in the NFL participates. Like every team in the league participates in a bounty scandal or in putting bounties on players. I could be wrong, but I think it's universally known. It's kind of that.
Or it could have changed.
And unfortunately with college academia, it's the same thing. Granted, first of all, the fact that a California school has a rowing team, I think is awesome. I actually knew somebody who went. They went to Texas for the University of Texas at Austin for rowing.
Really, I didn't know Texas had a team. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and it's one of those things. First of all, rowing's a hard hustle.
Oh yes, so much use of your back muscle and your arms.
Oh yeah, so before we start talking college admission scandals here, there's that, but the fact that this took place, I think to a certain extent is even more detrimental to the NCAA than this whole thing with the weight rooms. But it's another case of the NCAA not knowing what in the hell is wrong with themselves. But money. And speaking of money, all I got to say is, how about them Patriots?
Them Patriots. Talk about them Patriots.
New England done served up a nice lo mein for all of us and said, you know what? Screw y'all. We don't need Brady. Well, they said that last year, and look what happened.
Yeah.
So this year they said, we're coming for you. We're going to spend some money. They re-signed Cam Newton. They got some other pretty significant guys as well, which I think is New England a Super Bowl contender again.
I don't think they're a contender. I think they're more of they're going to be a good team in the NFL, but I don't know if they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to be a contender just due to the fact of the rise of Buffalo and there may be a rise and down there in Miami if they figure out the quarterback situation, because I don't know if Tua's going to be there, but can they make it can they make a wild card? Can they win the division? I think so, But can they win the Super Bowl? I'm not sure yet.
Well, as of now, Deshaun Watson is still being considered by several teams, one of which is the sad-ass New York Jets.
Yeah.
Which should be no surprise to anybody because Deshaun Watson's a good quarterback. But I think New England's up there. I hate to give up on Cam Newton because I gave up on him in 2015, and he was literally 60 minutes away from being a Super Bowl champion. Unfortunately, Von Miller and that Denver defense proved him wrong. But, Cam didn't have a good last season. So I think, first of all, before they do anything, I think they need to change their offensive scheme. I think Cam Newton definitely needs to throw the ball more. He needs to stop throwing some bad interceptions. I think that's the first thing. But I don't know, dude. I wouldn't sleep on New England.
I wouldn't sleep on New England either, but it's just hard with the AFC now when you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Lamar Jackson, you have the Browns in the mix now, and you have the Browns in the mix now. Potentially, maybe if the Bengals do like a good offseason or something, they might come sneak up in there. You never know.
I made me vomit in my own mouth as soon as he said Cleveland's actually quite a good team.
like Cleveland might actually have a good team now.
Well, that division, that AFC North,
just loaded.
Dude, Joe, say what they want about Joe Burrow being a rookie. Obviously now he's in the sophomore season, with the ACL injury and all that stuff. Dude, Joe Burrow's a pretty fire quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he was like top tier, but that's a dude the Bengals can build around. Now, unfortunately, he lost arguably his best weapon in AJ Green because, AJ decided, I want to go play for another team that can actually win football games.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting old, so I need to make some money, a little bit more money. Hopefully something happens.
Shout out to AJ Green, though, one of the best to ever do it. But I mean, I wouldn't sleep on New England. Worst case scenario, they end up in the Super Bowl against
Tom Brady.
Worst case scenario.
And
then America would be conflicted, and then America would be conflicted as who the hell to pull for.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm not gonna be conflicted. You already know where my answer is gonna be.
I'm gonna turn the damn game off. It's gonna be like the no call.
Oh God, don't bring that up. Jeez.
It's gonna be like that Super Bowl, the anti-watch party.
The anti-watch party, yeah. Just protesting.
Yeah, dude. But no, I mean, I wouldn't sleep on Belichick. I wouldn't
sleep on Belichick either. I'll give him a shot if they have if they win at least 10 or 9 games.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna be dangerous in playoffs.
Shout out to Juju, by the way, re-signing with the Steelers
for 1 year though. 1 year.
Word may have it. He might be heading to Tampa Bay after this year.
Oh my God.
Excuse me, Tampa Bay. Because Tampa's gonna be like the New York Knicks. They're gonna feel themselves for a couple of years when they title contenders, and then all of a sudden Tom Brady gonna leave, and the team's just gonna go back to trash.
It's just going back to being garbage.
I'm telling you, dude. I swear, dude. It just makes me cringe the fact that the Tampa Bay fan base is all gung ho right now, and then all of a sudden stop. And by the way, speaking of NFL problems, did you hear Max Kellerman talking about the whole Drew Brees retiring thing and how he's not, I repeat, not a top tier quarterback?
it was very disrespectful in my opinion.
Oh
It
my
was it was
God.
it was it was very it was he I hate the argument of any great player of all time is that is MVP counts. And I'm like, bro, MVP means you're the best player of that season, but that doesn't mean you're the best player of time. He's like, well, he's never been up there with Aaron Rodgers telling him like it's not about talent,
Whoa.
it's about stats.
I just
It's
wanted
about
to jump, I
stats.
just wanted to jump through the goddamn TV screen. As soon as he mentioned Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, no, you're lying to yourself. You're lying.
You're lying.
Technically, if we look at the no call, Drew Brees got cheated out of going back to the Super Bowl.
He did.
So
Aaron Rodgers had just played bad in each NFC Championship game.
I-
Any good defense, he chokes. Like it's proven.
But Max Kellerman's statement about that whole thing with Drew Brees, I left a bad taste in my mouth. And Stephen A. thankfully corrected him and said, you need to stop talking about football, Mr. Cliff theory. Because if there's anybody that should be talking not be talking about greatness, it's Max Kellerman when it comes to football. This is a man.
True.
This is a man, ladies and gentlemen, that said the following. You've got Blake Bortles. You've got Nick Foles. You've got Tom Brady. And I forgot who the other quarterback was. I think it was.
Was it Ben Roethlisberger?
No, I think it was Matt Ryan. Yeah, I think it was Matt Ryan because this is the Super Bowl 51. No,
yeah.
This is a year after. I can't remember who the other quarterback was. And Max Kellerman was asked, which quarterback has the most to prove? And he said Tom Brady. The man done already got 5 Super Bowls. He only had 5 at this point. He only had 5.
Yes, he only had 5 at that point. We all know.
But Max, what? So anything that he says about Drew Brees, I'm just gonna have to just rip the paper up and just get out of town.
And like a lot of people are like, well, Drew Brees' value went down the past couple of years because he just got old. I'm like, well, what else is they supposed to do? We obviously couldn't draft him.
Did they not get to the playoffs?
Did they not get close to the playoffs? Did they not get close to the Super Bowl?
Did Drew Brees? I agree. Drew Brees' value may have gone down, and he only threw for 2,500 yards. The past couple of years, season wise, but yeah, I wouldn't say his value's necessarily all that diminished because lest we all forget, they went to the playoffs.
They went to the playoffs.
And last I checked, that's a mark of success, is it not?
It is a mark of success.
I mean, hell, they were riding Jared Goff's coattails when he made it to the Super Bowl, and we all know why.
Don't forget Legatron. Don't forget the mighty Legatron.
And they
made a 60-yarder in a dome.
And then they started riding Aaron Rodgers, the bad man. Because last I checked, Aaron Rodgers done gone to the playoffs a whole bunch, but he ain't finished.
He loses.
I can't, as Dave Chappelle would say, I can't sleep on that.
Look, let's put this in perspective. Aaron Rodgers almost lost at home against old Eli Manning and the Giants. He almost. Yeah. Look back at that score. It was close. It was a close game. Yeah. It was a close game.
A future Hall of Famer, ladies and gentlemen, Eli Manning.
The great Eli Manning. You better put some respect on that man's name.
Why? Eli will be a Hall of Famer. I don't agree that he was a great quarterback.
Oh no. He was literally a better Trent Dilfer. He was a better Trent Dilfer.
God. Damn. That's terrible. I feel sorry for Trent Dilfer being compared to that. Lord. No, I like Eli. I think Eli's he's an awesome dude. But to say that he's one of the best quarterbacks ever, I'm like,
I'm
Yeah,
not saying
okay.
ever.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just
He
thankful
beat
for his
Brady
service.
twice. He beat Brady twice. I'll give you that. But he was like 116 and 116 in a career. Last I checked, as far as I know, I don't think Tom Brady's even hit 100 losses yet.
No,
That
actually,
man's been playing for 20 years. Let me to confirm that, I'm gonna look this up.
I'll look this up.
Because last I checked, like I said, Tom Brady done played 20 something years, and as far as I'm concerned, he still hadn't lost 100 games yet. Let's see. Football database. Yeah. According to football database, you heard it here, America. Tom Brady done played in 344 games. He started 344 games. He's lost 80.
He lost 80.
And he's won 264. Drew Brees started 304, won 181, lost 123. Okay. Freaking Aaron Rodgers done played in 210, won 137, and lost 72. So, yeah. Anybody that's out there with the Aaron Rodgers, stick up there, you know what? Out there, yeah. But he ain't done it in crunch time. I'm sorry.
He let the Giants beat him at home, and he almost let them beat him at home again.
The beauty of it is that thankfully he's not the only one. Because and that's what I think sickens me about this whole thing is like I sit there and I just go, how is it that we're like even having this argument? Because I'll be the first one to say it. I think next year's Super Bowl is going to be a rematch.
Oh, you think if the Chiefs have got better their own line,
bro, Tom Brady,
and if their defense was more aggressive, I don't think their defense was as aggressive as last year.
Well, if you think about it, it's like playing against the Warriors. The Warriors, in my recollection, my minor knowledge of basketball, their defense was not their strong arm.
Oh no! Until Kevin Durant came,
their intense offense was what got them to the promised land. And I think it's the same with the Chiefs. They're not known for their like spectacular defense necessarily. They're known for, Pat Mahomes putting up 40 points a game,
throwing 300 yards,
throwing 6 touchdowns, which I mean, the worst game of his career was that Super Bowl. I don't think any of us are going to disagree with that.
His worst game, like that was like his worst.
Oh yeah, no. But luckily, with NFL free agency, Pats weren't the only ones who capitalized. The Jets spent, I think, about $70 million on Davis. And then potentially Deshaun Watson's going to come up as well. Potentially.
They got Sheldon Rankins today.
Yeah. Mitchell Trubisky's going to the Bills.
To the Bills. I did not see that coming.
Well, I mean, he's not going to start. I mean, Josh Allen's just better.
I know, but like I thought if I was him, I'd try the Jets, honestly.
Oh, heck no. I wouldn't want to go to New York.
The sorry ass Jets.
Andy Dalton finally confirmed all of our fears about Russell Wilson going to the Bears.
Hey, I'll tell you this though. The one team to look out next year, definitely, that's the Colts.
No.
I'm telling you, the Colts next year might be dangerous.
Carson Schmentz and the Colts.
He got Frank.
After the number dispute that he had with a goddamn second-year player, he's not even worthy of his last name being used by me.
He got a number dispute.
How you have a number dispute with well, first of all, that rookie, and I don't remember the guy's name. That
Mike Pittman Jr.
He needs to shut up. Shut up. Because to me that makes no sense. How are you going to tell a guy not only that's got a ring, but a guy that's played in the league a hell of a lot longer than you? Yeah, you can't wear my number.
Excuse me?
This? You know who I am? I get it. And I get it. I like the confidence. I like the swagger, but hate to say it, bro. I got to side with Carson Wentz on this one. Oh, Carson Schmitz. Carson
Carson.
Schmitz. Carson Schmitz. That fool ain't going nowhere in Indianapolis.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. Indianapolis has a lot. Their defense is their saving grace. Philip Rivers didn't have a bad year with Indianapolis. I think he definitely like uplifted the team, but I don't think it was one of those things where, I was like, writing checks and being like, oh my God, Indianapolis is going on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And guess what? With Carson Schmitz at the helm, they're not going anywhere either.
We'll see. We'll see.
But Andy freaking Dalton.
Oh, God. Andy Dalton.
Bears.
The Bears.
Because Chicago can't seem to figure out their quarterback problem.
The Bears are, in my opinion, looking like they're about to be the worst franchise in the NFL. Mm-hmm. They're about to look okay. Not worse than the Jets, but like
it's pretty damn low. It's pretty damn hard.
You just regress significantly. You're about to waste prime Khalil Mack years in that defense for Andy Dalton.
Yep.
For Andy Dalton.
Granted, there is a chance they could pick somebody up in the draft. That's always a possibility as well. We don't have the inner workings and we don't have all the knowledge, I think, to assess this. But Andy Dalton, I'm assuming would definitely be the starter. Nick Foles, I think, is going to probably be there as well, backing up Andy Dalton. God help him. But I wouldn't necessarily sleep on Chicago. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to run away with the division. I think that's proven. But Aaron Rodgers will do what he does best and fall short right when it matters, which I'm okay with.
I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
More rings than Drew Brees, I'm okay. But NFL free agency, it's turning into kind of like that NBA free agency. They're like everybody's like breaking contracts and messing with stuff. The biggest I think question, or the two biggest questions I think, are going to be where's Russell Wilson going to play next year, and where's Deshaun Watson going to play next year. And I think the sad, unfortunate truth is that Russell Wilson's going to stay in Seattle. And Deshaun Watson might be suspended for the first 5-6 games because of massage allegations, which I still don't get.
Yeah.
Which I still don't get. Come on, Deshaun. You got a college degree. You smart.
No, these situations.
You want a happy ending, dude? You should have just said, I want a happy ending. Don't coerce. Don't be like that. Come on.
I'm not going to fully comment on the matter. I'm going to wait till all the facts come out because I just think it's very I
agree. I think it's suspect that it's all coming out now.
Yeah. But you can't take away what the victims potentially might feel, how they
I kind of regret what I just said, but I'm in that situation. I don't really know who to believe.
Exactly.
Because I think Deshaun Watson wouldn't be the first.
No, he would not be the first.
Last. But it's kind of eerie when, with Antonio Brown, another one, God rest his soul, another troublemaker off the field, a guy that had, 3, 4, 5 women come, up front and say, this is what Antonio did to me.
Yeah.
But Deshaun Watson proved all of us wrong and had 12. I think the biggest solution right now is you just got to stop getting massages.
I think he should just be more mindful and just, if he comes out of the situation, just be.
Oh, dude.
Just, I don't know. I won't trust anyone anymore at that point.
Well, in the NFL seems to have a big problem with its conduct policy, and I think that was I think, with the whole Antonio Brown situation, the NFL handled it poorly and kind of left Antonio Brown to his own devices. Granted, he was under investigation by federal authorities, which can't really be helped, I guess, with even though the NFL has lots of power and influence. But I think Deshaun Watson is going to run into that same problem. And, and the fact that teams are still showing interest and still being like, this is a guy that could potentially, change a franchise.
People are saying the Patriots already.
Oh no.
They're saying the Patriots already.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, he's going to end up, if he doesn't end up this year, it's going to be next year. He's going to end up with the New York Jets. I think I feel bad for him too. I think that's exactly where he's going, because Trevor Lawrence is definitely going to be the quarterback for the Jags, unless they are just like smoking something. Justin Fields, I think. Well, I say that. No, Justin Fields could very well end up. Justin Fields could very well end up as the quarterback for the Jets too. But I don't think I think Deshaun Watson, if he wants to, keep playing, because I know up here been hearing a lot of talk about the Panthers been trying to get him.
Yeah.
Which, I think they kind of regret their mistake that they made with Teddy Bridgewater and overhyping him. But I mean, no, I think Deshaun Watson, he's gonna be a Jet. Not to mention, I think he'd look more badass with a Jets uniform on than that Houston Texans uniform. But that's
True.
just not all about look. But man, Deshaun's been taking it, man. He's been taking it in the press, like as of late, and for a guy that I guess we all thought had upstanding character. Does no one find it strange that like all of a sudden all this stuff came out?
That's the thing. Like, I feel like no one's really discussing that, like that factor. And like, I understand that like we shouldn't always jump to that conclusion either.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's like, I won't say, but it's random. Like it's just out of the blue. It just blew up immediately into something that like kept growing and growing. And I'm like, damn.
No, I agree. I think with this whole situation with law enforcement primarily being involved, I don't think it's a good look for Deshaun, but I think it's one of those things where I think the NFL needs to take more accountability as to who they let in their league.
Yeah.
If that, like, because I don't, I think when we're looking at, a lot of former NFL players, a lot of them made mistakes prior to getting into the NFL. But the NFL, I don't feel like does, and who's going to argue with that? I don't think anyone, again, not accusing him of anything, but I don't think anyone background checked Ray Lewis. But then there was the incident that happened, which again, we're not confirming or denying that Ray did anything, or even was there. It just kind of happened. Thankfully, there's a lot more educational opportunities for NFL rookies now. But and it could be just because, that when they make mistakes during their careers, it's not like they're like getting into like gunfights or, rape allegations as like rookies. Weirdly enough, they're waiting. They're waiting until, good enough before, they want to do a groin.
Shit, I'll say it's more like when they get more comfortable, just the comfortability with the lifestyle. I feel like.
I guarantee you, yeah, I guarantee that now. But I mean, and I mean, there was also a chance, and this is, I don't know if you heard this rumor, there was also a chance that Deshaun Watson was going to be heading to Arizona at one point.
Really?
I was like, they gonna bench Kyler Murray?
No, they're gonna trade Kyler Murray to Texas because I don't know if you know, but Kyler Murray essentially is like a like a low key of a god of football in Texas.
Yeah.
Because that man balled out there in high school. I think he won like 3 or 4 state championships.
Yeah. Yeah. Kyler Murray's a hell of an athlete, which brings us to kind of our next question. Arizona Cardinals, hot or not?
We've been on this topic the past couple of weeks. I think they're hot. I think they're very hot, especially with AJ Green on the squad, like we mentioned earlier.
Super Bowl contender?
I need to see one. I need to see what kind of quarterback they're going to get in the draft. I mean, not quarterback, running back in the draft, because I know you saw Kenyon Drake sign with the Raiders,
Yeah.
which that didn't make any sense because the Raiders already got a top like running back already, unless you're trying to do like some kind of like New Orleans Saints kind of tandem like we have with like Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara like those years. But besides that, but if they get one good running back, one decent running back in the draft, and get one more weapon as a receiver, I'll put them up there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think because right now what it looks like is they're, according to NFL.com's mock draft, they're picking 16th in the first round. Because I think the Patrick Peterson trade definitely left a little bit more to the imagination than I say trade, but signing with the Vikings, I think that left a lot more on the table than I think anyone would be like comfortable with.
Right.
So I think that's gonna be the first area. Their I think I said that the last time we talked about this was their defense is the key. Kyler's probably gonna get another weapon in the draft. Another kid. New England's gonna draft some small white kid receiver. Who they're
Scotty Miller.
Yep, who they're magically gonna make great because they just do.
Because they just do. That's how the NFL works.
I mean, Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, Julian Edelman, Chris Hogan.
Wes Welker.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know. But I will say I am looking forward to seeing Arizona ball out.
I hope it's a fun year, Arizona. I really hope it is because especially all these players you're getting, especially on the defensive end with the addition of J.J. Watt, you got Chandler Jones. Hopefully Isaiah Simmons get involved into something really good because he was a really good player at Clemson on the defensive side of the ball. So hopefully we can really see a good progression from him, at least like as something. I think he'll work more as a linebacker than as a corner or as a DB, really, because he's really fast. So I feel like he'll be good for blitzing and for if you're gonna use him as a cornerback, use him as a nickel and use him as on the corner blitz.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, and I think with the J.J. Watt signing, I think the Cardinals are, I think they're all in, so to speak, with putting together a Super Bowl contender. But I think it's just going to be a matter of just putting all the pieces together, because I mean they still got Budda Baker.
Oh, and Budda Baker.
Baby. He's still a hot commodity. Okay. Yeah. Which kind of brings us kind of to our next topic, which kind of sort of relates to football, but not really. So as we all know, LeBron James recently bought stake in the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
I'm not finished yet. So do you find that it's becoming an issue that professional athletes with massive contracts are able to buy stakes in professional teams?
Do I have a problem with it? No.
Interesting.
I wouldn't say I don't have a really problem with it because especially with some teams, like I feel like some teams they need a new owner, or like the owners don't really care about the organization anymore. So at least someone's taking some kind of like step towards maybe potentially taking the team from like the original owners. I mean, look at the only kind of people that can get those, but get some kind of stake in teams, whether like the kind of money they have, or athletes, or millionaires. And if you're an athlete like Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes has a stake in the Kansas City Royals in ownership.
Right. And that, and we talked about this, I think last year when he bought his stake in the Royals. You're talking a guy that's, still kind of fresh.
Yeah.
In the NFL, who signed a massive extension, and he's able to afford a massive, I wouldn't say a massive stake, but like a bigger stake in a professional sports team than I think other athletes of other generations, like, because I think it's like with LeBron buying stake in the Red Sox, we're not going to argue that LeBron's got enough money.
Oh yeah, he also has stake in Liverpool too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not his first like team investment. But do you like you said, you didn't find a problem with it? I wonder why.
I don't know. Like I just find it interesting, because of all teams, I thought he would put more into the Indians, or maybe like the Reds, the Cincinnati Reds, like from where he's from.
Yeah,
or like the same state he's from.
It's a team that can win the World Series. I think that's the.
Yeah,
I think that's the kicker with that. But yeah, I did find that to be an interesting choice too. I figured, a guy that's a hometown guy, but I guess the same could be argued for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes is from Texas, I mean,
be a Rangers investor.
Well, because the Cowboys, wouldn't wanted him in that, which actually would be wild if they, because I've always thought about that, is like if I was playing in a league, wouldn't I want to consider buying stake in another team in the league, preferably a better team? You make more money that way, but I'm not going to get into financial advice because I don't know a damn thing about finances. But I'm actually kind of surprised because I find it troubling with, like I said, these massive contracts, because if that's the case, a guy like Kevin Durant, who signed that 6-year, 140 something million one a couple years ago, Kyrie Irving, who signed a 4-year, 140 something million. These are the guys that are going to be able to afford these kinds of purchases,
right,
in the future, and that's not necessarily going to be the most helpful. I think for the leagues, I think there has to be, because I mean, when you think of like people that own stakes and things, you tend to think of like professional resumes, or at least I would. I'm not saying like Jay-Z definitely has a professional resume. Jay-Z's definitely a good businessman, solid what he does. But there is like a tendency, like you think of guys that own these things, like Magic Johnson. I don't never think of Magic Johnson as like a corporate suit, but he has ownership of the Dodgers
and the Sparks.
Right. Yeah. Not a corporate suit, a player, a former player at that. But I think it's a little bit different when the player is active. I know LeBron's not going to be playing. LeBron's not going to play forever. He's not Michael Jordan. Which, fight me if you disagree on that.
He says he's not Michael Jordan.
Clearly you didn't watch The Last Dance and you're just wrong. But no, but LeBron's kind of towards the end of his career. Pat Mahomes still has hopefully a good 10, possibly another 15 years left in the league.
Right.
And so, what if he just leaves Kansas City?
I get that, because that's the same thing with James Harden, like the Houston Dynamo, like the soccer team. Yeah. Like that man literally left Houston And he was like, he's like, I'm still owning this team though. Like, what do you mean?
That is wild. Yeah, but fat James Harden made a lot of questionable decisions that we need to be ashamed of. Number one being how he got fat like Mac on It's Always Sunny, but that's
Jesus.
that's another story. Also too, folks, if you ever want to like talk It's Always Sunny, I'm a huge fan. So we can chat it at some point, preferably off the air, because a lot of stuff on that show is not really air appropriate.
It's not.
But it is an awesome show. But I think with ownership stakes, I think that would be my biggest question is this not a sign that superstars are making a little too much money?
Well, I think it'll be a problem if there's a growing number of superstars, because then a lot of more people are making significantly more money than anyone else, and then like more and more people are going to start trying to own teams or different teams. Oh, yeah. And hell, we might get up to a point where like there might be a player who like might use all his contract money and just buy a team, or like buy like more and more stake of a team.
Mm-hmm. No, and I think that's a valid concern. I think though too, you just have to like, Jerry Jones for being I would think Jerry Jones is the richest owner. I would think. If he's
not, I think he is.
Not, I think he's damn close. Jerry Jones, at least to our knowledge, none of Jerry Jones's active players own stakes in franchises. I wouldn't say that his players are arguably the best paid, considering what other superstars make around the league. Now, granted, the Dak Prescott situation kind of makes me switch that statement a little bit, because, he decided only after a year and a ankle injury that was detrimental to Dak's playing career that, I'm going to pay him now.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I think with ownership stakes, I think it calls into question this idea that, for those of you out there that are, music fans, the fact that like, the old repertoire, the old, rappers want to be ballers want to be rap, like, it's kind of that same, and I think with athletes, especially, I think there should be a little bit more concern financially about this. Now, granted, I'm happy for LeBron, buying the Boston Red Sox, or buying a stake, not the whole team. But buying a stake, I think that's pretty cool that he has the financial funds to do that. But I think it's a little bit concerning about the wage.
The wage.
The fact that like, LeBron's probably the most famous basketball player in the world currently.
Yeah.
At least that's actively playing.
Hands down.
I think LeBron is definitely the most famous, but I guess then it comes into question, how much is too much? Because the Lakers done paid, they paid him. They paid him pretty handsomely. And he got results 2 years in, world champions. But for a massive contract like that, I still call into question, you're still playing. How is it that you have all of this money,
right,
and you're able to buy an ownership stake in another professional team?
I think it also comes from like, depends what kind of player. I think with LeBron, like he was just really good with his money before he even started investing in teams.
Yeah,
he invested money into like his friends, and his friends pay him back, and like they own multiple businesses, and they helped him grow, and now he's really good into production. He got a production, made his own production company.
I'm not trying to argue, that this one or that one's like dumb or doesn't know that. Like LeBron definitely has proven in the past that his financial advisor is probably one of the best. I think
Oh yeah, whoever LeBron's financial advisor is, I want him to be my financial advisor. But I probably can't afford him.
Yeah, I was about to say his retainer fee is probably insane. But I mean, just like that, like I think to me at least and again with the Patrick Mahomes thing, I think it was kind of horrifying to like look at it and go, this dude's only been in the league.
He got it. He got after like a year in the league too. I think like a year into the league.
2-3 years. They just won the Super Bowl. He got his massive contract, and they just bought a stake in the team. It's like, whoa, is that not a little questionable? But more power to him. So with that being said, kind of the last topic we're going to talk about today is, Major League Baseball. Spring training's winding down. April 1st.
Baby.
It all begins.
Yes, baby.
The way to watch the Red Sox fall from glory.
Okay, hold on.
They won't. I fully believe. I think we picked on the first show. The Yankees are gonna. I picked the Yankees. Travis unfortunately made the mistake of picking
the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. So.
Hey. Okay, look. I'll be fair. I'm still not gonna give it to the Yankees, but I'd rather give the Tampa Bay Rays a fairer chance than the Yankees.
Oh yeah.
I'll never bet the Yankees over win a division each year.
Yeah, I agree. But I think with everything that they've got going for them, the fact that they were able to re-sign some key players, I think that's definitely gonna be a big impact. But more so looking at major leagues and looking at who their competition would be, I think. For me, it calls into question the I don't know the because I don't, weirdly enough, I don't see the Dodgers repeating. I do not. I don't see the Dodgers repeating.
Especially in sport like baseball, where it's hard to repeat or to make it back to the World Series.
I don't think it's that. I think what's going to kill a lot of teams is the fact that the season at the time last year was 60 games. This year, it's 162. So it's going to be a longer season. Obviously, the teams couldn't agree on a collective bargaining agreement, where they would have only had to play 154, which I don't get. But, way I see it is 162, 154. It's still too many, but that's just the way. In those long seasons, I mean, if it takes you 60 games to get like warmed up, that's still 100 left, so by mid-July, you're still kind of warming up, for the playoffs. And, by then it's too late. You've kind of hit your peak. But no, nothing major has like really stuck out in spring training. I think the Nationals two key signings in Kyle Schwarber and Josh Bell, have definitely been more positive, I think, for the Nationals going forward. But again, I still don't see the Nationals as a World Series contender, and they could prove me wrong. And if so,
Jesus, they proved us all wrong the year y'all won.
Oh my God. That was, the fact that they beat the Dodgers, that was when it was like, whoa,
this is real.
Yeah. This is like, oh damn, like they're going. Now granted, they had to play the cheating ass Astros, who were, not smart enough to cheat during this one. So, but I think with spring training, kind of winding down, I think if there's like any teams to watch, I think the White Sox, are a team to watch.
Really, the White Sox?
Yeah, dude, the White Sox are, with behind the shortstop Tim Anderson, they got Giolito pitching. They've, Keuchel's looking pretty outstanding. They've got room to improve, but I think if there's a team that I would look at going into that opening week, I would think it would be the Chicago White Sox.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep my eye on the Chicago White Sox. I didn't know they were a major threat this year. I thought it'd be like the same old like Yankees, Dodgers, maybe Red Sox, maybe Cardinals, maybe Nationals.
The Cardinals,
definitely not Philadelphia.
St. Louis, no, I don't. St. Louis, I think St. Louis with the whole Nolan Arenado thing, I think they're gonna win their division. I think there's no doubt about that, but I don't see them going all the way. The White Sox, weirdly enough, I can kind of see it.
What about the Brewers? How you feel about the Brewers this year?
Milwaukee is Christian Yelich is probably the best outfielder in the game right now. Like I think hands down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, oh my God, I'm gonna get blown up as soon as I say this. I think Christian Yelich is definitely a better overall player than Mike Trout, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Mike Trout is a very good baseball player.
You about to get some heat.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, I'm gonna get blown up after saying this. But again, that's what hot takes are for. Christian Yelich, though, the Brewers need to build around him, and he signed last year. He signed kind of an extension to keep him in Milwaukee for a little while. But Milwaukee they just need to build around him, and they haven't done that really. I think, something that would help them is, I say as of late, because they just got Jackie Bradley Jr. from the Red Sox. But like I said, like one piece isn't gonna help you.
I ain't gonna say that. That ain't gonna win no World Series.
Because I mean, how long did it take the Dodgers? It took Dodgers a very long time to like put the pieces back together to win a title. And then they went to 2 in a row. And then, unfortunately, one of them was a little bit more scandalous than the other. Yeah. Shout out to Houston, watching. But I think, but I think Milwaukee needs to build around Yelich. He's a solid player. But if there's another team, I think we need to maybe kind of keep in the rear view. It might actually be Miami.
The Marlins.
Yeah, dude. Miami's, I think with the new female general manager, with Derek Jeter as the president of baseball operations.
Oh, damn.
Dude, the Marlins might. I'm not World Series. I'm not saying they're gonna go all the way, but they were able to make the playoffs last year.
True.
They were able to, put a lot of teams, down.
Put them on notice.
Which kind of brings me to my next point. Philadelphia. Do you think that the Philadelphia Phillies are overrated? And if so, why?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think you and I both know why they're overhyped. And it's because of one specific player, and that's Bryce Harper. Now, before anybody crucifies me, I am not saying Bryce Harper is overrated. I am saying the team is overrated just because they have Bryce Harper.
Well, it doesn't really help. I think Bryce Harper is definitely the best player on the team. But I think Philadelphia has a lot more holes and gaps.
Way more holes and gaps than people realize.
And they got Dombrowski to be their new general manager, I believe. Yeah. So could be heading for positive waters. But I'm gonna have to disagree. I don't think they're overrated.
You know that they're overrated?
I don't think Philadelphia is overrated. I think Philadelphia just hasn't found a way to cohesively use all the pieces.
Okay.
Philadelphia, 10 years ago, Philadelphia was a terror to the National League. They got over the hump finally, won a World Series, went back the next year, lost to the Yankees, and then they've just kind of been in a purgatory, honestly, kind of a middle ground. And but no, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're overrated. I think what they need to do is they just kind of like the Brewers, they just need to work cohesively to piece everything together. Luckily Philadelphia didn't really lose much this past offseason and during the winter meetings, but I'm always going to be a Nationals fan, so I'm never going to be like, oh yeah, dude, I don't want Philly to be, the world champions. I also don't want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl either, but another topic for another day. But the Phillies are not. I would highly argue that they're not overrated.
Okay.
Because then, if that's the case, do you think that the Dodgers can repeat? I've already said I don't think they're going to repeat.
Well. I say they can repeat, but we all know the game of baseball is very about having the best strategy going into the game and executing that plan to the best of your abilities. So I'm just saying because they've been there the most recent years, and all they did was literally just add Mookie Betts from the Red Sox and have made it and won it with Mookie Betts from the Red Sox. So can they repeat? I give them a better shot than most people. I mean, than most teams in the league. But is it guaranteed? No.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think. I don't think they're. Like as I mentioned earlier, I don't think they're gonna repeat either. I think the Trevor Bauer signing is actually, I think it's helping them, but I also don't think that Trevor Bauer is the best in the game. I just don't. But that's another topic for probably the next show. Because this time next week we're gonna be grinding, man. Because it's like I said, April 1st is like around the corner.
Baseball season, NBA playoffs coming up soon.
Squad is sweating. Which reminds me, with the NBA playoffs coming up, do you think the Knicks go into the playoffs far enough?
How far we're talking? Like past first round, maybe make it to a game 7 in the semis?
Are we talking semis? Or are we talking Western Conference Finals?
Knicks. I'm saying semis at best with a game 7.
Ooh, okay.
Tom Thibodeau, for some reason, he couldn't do it in Minnesota. He did it. He did a couple of years when he had that good defense in Chicago with Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Now he has Derrick Rose back, coming off the bench, of course, but Derrick Rose is balling. Julius Randle is balling. They have a good rookie and quickly. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. They still don't know. They still don't know what to do with what's his name, Frank Ntilikina. Obviously, his name is the French player. But they play some good defense, man. Like it's really effective. Like it's like top 5 in the league. I'm pretty sure.
They had that heartbreaking loss to the Nets, which referees just don't know what the hell they're doing. Because that game, I definitely agreed with Julius Randle's outburst at the end of it. But is it not weird to like actually look at the Knicks and be like, man, this team's actually like quality?
It's very weird because we're the only Knicks that we remember being good was Melo Knicks with Amari Stoudemire and
even then they were
they were a good offensive team. That was it.
They're mediocre at best. So,
but the reason I like when I say about the very best of the Knicks, about making to the semis in the game 7, that's like the very best. Like that, what I expect out of them is like at game 7 in the first round, give someone a hard time, then like maybe the next round they make it like they're up like one and then they lose like 4-2.
Yeah.
But like it's like a sweep essentially after that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of like effort. But hey man, if it's still kind of like COVID year. So if there's no fans in the stands or you never know what's gonna happen.
Yes.
But I don't know, because you still gotta go through the Nets, still gotta go through the Sixers. Miami started playing good again, so they're kind of like the 4th seed. Miami's dangerous too.
Oh yeah, no, I think the NBA Finals, it's going to be Lakers Nets.
Lakers Nets.
Oh, I think it's going to be Lakers Nets. So we're going to see Fat James Harden. Well, moderately not as fat James Harden. Because dude,
Slim thick James Harden.
God, slim fit. Oh, no, slim thick.
He lost that weight and like he's showing his muscles more, but you still see the beard done.
Dude, Fat James Harden had us all fooled.
Fat James Harden came there balling.
Dude,
He came out there and played, got a triple double.
dude, I swear to God, like, tell me that when you think of like Fat James Harden, please tell me that you think of Mac. Like let's no. James Harden. Come on, I can spell. Like, you cannot tell me that like this dude. Oh my God, like, come on. Like, come on. Shameful. Shameful. And then right when he first got to Brooklyn.
Jesus Christ.
And then but like look at him now. Like he definitely looks slimmer in this picture.
That's what I'm saying. Slim thick. He a little slim thick, you know.
Yeah, but again, I mean, Fat James Harden.
Fat James.
Right there.
Jesus Christ. He's Dennis not Dennis. He's
shout out to my boy Mac. All right. Well, as we say in the biz, that's a show. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out. T-Bone, I want to thank you for hitting me up today for the next show. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that, let us know. You can shout out to us on YouTube or on Instagram. We have our links, kind of set up for you. So please give us a shout. Any last words from my man T-Bone?
It's good. It's good seeing you again, E. It was an awesome show. Can't wait for next week because after this week we get more and more into the NCAA tournament. We still got the NBA season going on. We're gonna see what's happening there, and like you said, we're getting closer and closer to the MLB opening weekend, and I'm excited. I am so excited. I cannot wait till April 1st.
Thank God. Thank God. All right, folks. Catch y'all later. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.